Hey everyone, it's your girl Kiera and I'm back with another YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what to consider before you start your microlocs. So if you're considering starting your microlocs, there are a couple different approaches that you can take, and I highly recommend checking this video out just to understand what to consider before you install your microlocs, okay? So let's go. All right, so let's first do a quick overview of the different types of ways that you can install your microlocs. Comb coils is exactly what it is. You go in and you coil your hair. I believe there's a product they put in your hair and you kind of twist it into the lock, blow dry it, and just kind of maintain it along the way. So comb coils is one option. You'll see an example on the screen of what that would look like as a starter lock method. Two, very popular, two-strand twist. So this note is for my Black woman. You know, when we were little girls, we'd go to school, we'd have barrettes in our hair. Our parents would put our hair in two-strand twist. You can actually do that on a much smaller scale to start your microlocs. It's very, very popular, two-strand twists, okay? Three, braids or plaits. I actually started my hair this way. So I'm 4 years braid locks. So here's an example of what your hair could potentially look like as well. So braids. 4, interlocking. So that's when you go in and a tool is used to weave the hair together in a lock-like pattern. Sister locks. So if you want to do sister locks, you want to do more than 400 locks in your hair, that is sister locks, and some people will actually interlock their hair. So instantly lock their hair with a tool. Most people do go to a professional for that. I would recommend that. I actually started my hair with braids, much more simple. I couldn't imagine me trying to do my own sister locks. So yes, interlocking is the 4th option. Also, instant locks. So a crochet hook, I believe, is used to mat the hair instantly. Because we're talking about microlocs, we'll just blend sister locks and instant locks into one. But like if you wanted to do larger locks, for example, maybe you want to do 100 locks, right? Or you want to do 50 locks, you can still do instant locks with that crochet hook, okay? So those are the different types of starter lock methods to consider before you actually start locking your hair. Now that we know the different types of methods that we can choose from, let's go ahead and dive into what we should consider. So when choosing a starter lock method, consider the following options. 1, hair type and texture. So if you have fine, loose curls, like maybe 2A, 3C curls, you may be prone to your hair unraveling. You got to go back in and, twist it up or braid it back up, unraveling. It's just something that is inevitable. Disclaimer, no matter what method you choose, you're going to have to make sure you are equipped with patience and trust in the journey, okay? All right, so loose hair, fine hair, I definitely want to consider braids or twist. The tighter curl patterns like the 4A, 4B, 4C can hold pretty well with coils and finger twists, and that does make that a good option. But I am also 4C. I did have fine hair in the back. But I'm 4C, 4B. So for me, I actually decided, because of my lifestyle, my hair texture, and a bunch of different things we'll discuss soon, to braid lock my hair. So these are little tiny braids that have locked over time, okay? But anyways, hair type and texture. All right, so desired lock style. So if you really want small, tiny locks, kind of like sister locks, right? Or that sister lock style, I would suggest interlocking or small, tiny twists or braids to create that uniform look, okay? So interlocking small twist or braids if you want that small uniform style. If you want the medium type of style, larger locks, if you want more of a thicker look too, I would suggest 2-strand twist, or you can start with coils, okay? So that's what I would recommend, just based on my experience and what I did and how I researched when I was, locking my hair. Now, let's talk about maintenance preference. So I have braid locks. I would say it is a higher maintenance style because I interlock the roots to maintain them. Why do I interlock them? Because if I have new growth, I can't braid it, right? That would be awkward. Even me trying to do it right now, it just doesn't work. So interlocking is what you will need to commit to if you have braid locks And if you use the instant lock, sister lock, interlocking method, just want to continue that for that uniformity and then not to kind of like damage your locks, change it up. That's the way to go. So maintenance preference. If you don't mind a little bit of higher or medium maintenance, braid locks are great. Sister locks are great as well. Just commit to the interlocking of the roots. Also, palm rolling. I believe the 2-strand twist folks, they're going in and palm rolling the roots. I personally think that's a lower maintenance thing to do, but I haven't experienced it. So if you're like, here, that is not low maintenance, I am watching this video and it takes so much of my time, please excuse me. I'm just an interlock girl. So if you are palm rolling your hair, I would love to hear from you and hear your feedback if you think that's like a higher maintenance or lower maintenance or medium maintenance thing to do. Sister locks, I think they're high maintenance. Braid locks, I think they're medium maintenance. Comb coil starter method, 2-strand twist, I think it gets a bit easier in my opinion. Lifestyle and activity level. Okay, so I am a very active person. I would say I'm moderately active. I work out like 4 times a week. Nowadays, like 5 times a week. I do sweat. So if you are someone that works out a lot, super active, you are sweating, I recommend braid locks because when you braid your hair, it's a little bit more secure. It's not unraveling as much. If you're very active, frequently working out, you swim a lot, whatever, you're sweating, I believe interlocking would be best suited for those that, do a lot throughout the week. People think, okay, I have locks, I can do whatever. No, there's a certain method to the madness, right? Method to the madness. So interlocking, I would recommend it for very active folks. Braid locks will kind of subsequent to that, braid locks because you're already interlocking the roots, right? So that's what I would recommend. But if you prefer a neat look and you don't want to retwist too often, but you're super active, the 2-strand twist could also be considered there as well. So just something to think about. The last thing I would say you'd want to go ahead and think about is the patience for the maturity of the process. So I, again, have braid locks, and that means that I chose the starter method that takes the longest to lock. If you look very closely, some of my braid pattern is still here, and I'm 4 years in. But overall, I would say 97% of my hair is fully locked, but I didn't really start seeing the uniformity of it all until I would say like a year and a half in, right? So it takes time. You have to be patient. If you're installing braid locks, the beginning, your hair is going to be very thin and kind of stringy. At least for me, I don't know if that's everyone's experience, but for me, that was my experience. And I didn't like it that much until much later on. That's why I gave you that disclaimer earlier that you're going to want to practice patience and you're going to want to trust the journey. I think twists can take about 6 months on average for folks. Sister locks instantly. You don't have the patience. You don't want to wait. Sister locks instantly, but then you're going to have to commit to the maintenance of that, right? The interlocking of that, right? So just something to think about when considering your different styles. Okay, all right. So that is my video. I hope that this has been helpful for you. No matter what style you do, again, just want to remind you that patience is a virtue and never compare your journeys to other folks. Remember, your journey is your own to own. Just be patient with the process, trust your journey, and be happy with your choice. Your hair is going to bloom regardless of what style you decide to start your locks with, okay? All right, so thank you all so much for watching. It's Kiara. Take care. Bye-bye.